Okay, welcome. Day 19, right? We are 19 days into this live stream marathon slash telethon. Let's close this bad boy. We're going to get new blinds soon. It is the next thing on the list. Although we got this, nice new chair, but we're coming up in the world, guys. So, update, we are here promoting, well, I have glasses on, so that's different. But we are here promoting Intact Global's upcoming inaugural conference. Oh, wow, a lot going on. And March 29 to 31, right? It is Intact Global's inaugural annual conference. And at the end of it, we will be suing the state of Oregon on constitutional equal protection grounds, arguing that every child is entitled to equal protection under the law from the harm of medically unnecessary genital cutting, right? It's a huge harm. It has unfortunately harmed over 100 million American men in this country alone, and probably about 1 million intersex individuals. I don't actually have the number on that, so if anyone has it, definitely worth pulling up, but certainly hundreds of thousands at minimum. An extremely unnecessary act that dates back to America's puritanical days of trying to stop kids from touching themselves, right? That's really how it got medicalized. So Ocean Birth, great to see you. Thanks for everything that you do. Jake, glad you're on the stream and that it's working. Yes, we're a little later tonight, but it was a busy day. Great progress on the lawsuit. Very good. Also on another lawsuit too, which is not quite as interesting to the intactivist crowd tuning in. But yeah, we are making huge headway. We got an extremely strong local attorney, and we've got great numbers. We've got about 10 early bird tickets left. And once those sell out, I actually have to talk with the venue to see if we can even have any more people, right? We've got huge numbers showing up, and it's going to be a huge event. It's going to be extremely well catered. Again, March 29 to 31, Intact Global. There it is, the logo, the equality of all children, right, including intersex children. And that's the goal. It is a nonpartisan issue. We all just want to ensure that children are protected from harm at birth, right? We want to protect every child. So I'm going to run through the conference lineup, right? We've got, we're pushing almost 60 attendees at this point, but we want to, just for those of you who are considering going, especially if you're in the local Portland area, we'll run through that. If you guys have any questions during that, I'll try to answer either before or during. Probably not going to be more than a 20-minute live stream tonight, but yeah, let's see what's going on. So if you go in your channel or in your URL to Intact Global /conference, right here, I'll put it up on the screen if this works. There it is. So go to intact.global/conference, and if you go there, the Four Skinny is joining on Instagram. Great to have you. So if you go to intact.global/conference, this guy right here, you'll go to our conference info page. Oh, I got to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So here we have the Intact Global's conference informational page, right? It's our 2025 conference, March 29 to 31 in Portland, Oregon, right? And it is going to be a historical event. This is part of history, not just for the intactivist movement, but for society, right? This is where we begin, removing ourselves from the child sacrifice timeline, because at the end of the day, genital cutting and mutilation is really just an offshoot of child sacrifice. I mean, and it's so harmful and so obviously harmful. It's just there is no organized legal resistance to it until now, right? You're looking at, one of many capable attorneys, right? Peter Adler is my co-counsel. We just signed up a very capable attorney in Portland, Oregon as well. And so, yeah, and there's actually more support for this. Well, we knew there was support for this, but more support than even anticipated. So, yeah, we're very pleased with that. And so, and yeah, at the conference, we're going to talk about our plan. How do we, and there's going to be 9 attorneys speaking, leaders of various intactivist organizations, including GalDef, Intaction, Doctors Opposing Circumcision. We're going to talk about what is our plan to actually end the genital cutting of children. We're not going to talk about just, oh, how bad is it, right? We know it's bad. We know it's bad. John Atkinson, great to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Looking forward to meeting you in person. And as Oceanburst says, clickable link for conference info and tickets here, right? And when you click on that link, you're going to go to our conference page. You can buy tickets and you can get discounted hotel rooms. So you can either click right here where my mouse is, or you could also click over here where it says conference tickets, early bird tickets. Now, we've sold all the swag bags, right? You got a hat, you got a t-shirt, and you get a canvas bag, which actually is right here. And as I tell people in the stream now, they're all sold out, but we're not increasing the price. And considering you've got 2 great catered lunches and an excellent buffet dinner on Saturday evening and drinks, coffee, soft drinks throughout. It's also at one of the nicest hotels in Portland with a lot of rich character and history. In fact, we're probably losing a few bucks per head. This is not to charge you. It is because we want you there, but we can't take the hit Intact Global entirely. So yeah, get your ticket now. It's $200. If you click on the buy ticket, you go to Ticket Tailor. This is the system that we use to process our tickets. And so you just click select tickets here, right? And then the lawsuit announcement, that's Monday, March 31st. That's easy enough. You should do that. But certainly early bird. So get 1 or get 2, bring a friend, right? Unfortunately, the Founders Dinner is sold out. But once you at least get 1 of your tickets, you'll click next, and then you'll put in your name, right? First name, last name. I have a little, password filler thing, so it'll fill in my info automatically. But yeah, and then you click next, and then you put in your payment information, and voila, you're done, right? So I'm not going to do that because I already have my ticket, and I've been pretty involved in the operation. So yeah, going back to what actually is this conference, though. So it's gonna end with actually suing the state of Oregon on constitutional grounds. So this is the Pioneer Courthouse Square in Portland, Oregon, and so we'll have a permit there, and we'll rent out part of the square and actually have a press conference, right? And you'll hear from me, the other attorneys, the plaintiffs, interested parties, leaders in the movement. We're going to talk about why this lawsuit is so important, right? But the actual conference, well, that's March 29th to 30. That is going to be over the weekend. And again, it's probably going to sell out at the rates that we've sold tickets, which is epic. It's truly epic. I thought there was a demand for this, and, I knew there was a demand for this, but it's one thing to know something and it's another to do it, right? So I'm very pleased at how well this is going. So these lives, I'm doing them because I said I would do them every day. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And maybe we'll have more guests on, like we had Carter on. I think it was 2 nights ago. Losing track of the days because there's a lot going on. I've got a lot of different cases, but this is the number one, right? Right now, we are going to nail it. We're going to have a great, great conference in Portland, Oregon. You're going to hear presentations from leading lawyers, activists, and thought leaders for 2 full days of engaging presentations, networking, and strategic planning, right? Because this is a key event if you want to be involved in this movement, to talk with the other change makers and say, look, okay, this is what we're going to do, moving forward. This is how we're going to coordinate and collaborate. And these are the, people that I know with these different skills or resources. And so it's really a time to get to talk with everybody, to meet everybody, to really game plan out how do we end the genital cutting of children in the immediate future, right? This is not like a long-term 5-10-year plan. This is like a 1 to 3 year plan. We sue Oregon at the end of the conference, and then maybe we sue another state, a couple months later, right? That would be epic. Maybe 3 months later. I'd love to do another state by the end of the year, but depending on how much support we get, internet, you guys, we may scale this up big time real quick. And I'm happy to do that. My firm has the resources if the internet comes support. So, which is why you should become a monthly donor of Intact Global, right? Because it supports the litigation effort. But going back to the conference, it's going to be at the storied Sentinel Hotel. That's this guy right here. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel, beautiful building. There's a reason I went to Portland from Los Angeles, flew up there, checked out 10 different venues, and this was the venue that won the day, right? It's got great rooms as well. But yeah, here's the Sentinel, and Jake's Catering is or Jake's Grill, which is like it's a nice boutique kind of restaurant. Excellent food, and they're going to be giving you catered meals on Saturday, Sunday lunch, and then we have a great buffet. Really looking forward to it. I'm actually really hungry, and just talking about it, I'm like, oh wow. But yeah, and I'll be giving a couple talks on where the movement is, where we're going. Board members from Intact Global, other thought leaders and nonprofit leaders, and you'll hear from 9 lawyers in the movement. How are we going to work together together to definitively stop the genital cutting and mutilation of our children, because that is totally nuts that we take newborn infants and start hacking off important parts of their bodies. I mean, truly. So anyway, but yeah, so here's the lineup. Saturday, right? The first half is me and other board members from Intact Global. Then we're going to end with a panel, and then we're going to have lunch. It's going to be a catered lunch. You get your chicken, salmon, or vegetarian entree. The entrees are great. And again, I'm just getting hungry thinking about them. And then we have other leaders of the movement: Tony Lasquato of Intaction, Director of Intaction; Tim Hammond, Director of GalDef; John Geishiker, Executive Director of Doctors Opposing Circumcision. We have Carrie Cantrell, who is going to start interning at the Klopper Law Firm, but she's also going to talk about the intersex interest in the intactivist movement, right? So that is a huge, that's a huge stakeholder that we serve as a nonprofit. We want to not just protect baby boys from genital cutting and baby girls from genital cutting, but also intersex children. There's no reason that we should be performing surgeries on intersex children when they're healthy, right? Oh, well, these genitals don't conform to my expectation as an adult. It's like, that's not a good reason for surgery. And in fact, that is a terrible reason. It is an affirmatively bad reason to start cutting off parts of a child's body, a healthy child. And then we'll have Michael Abanika, who's a good friend of mine. He's a human rights attorney from Uganda. Right. And he's got a network of human rights attorneys throughout Africa. And so we want to, start building this intercontinental network of lawyers and activists for human rights and for children. Deborah, great to see you on Instagram. But yeah, and then on the next day, we're going to have the Intact Litigation Day, right? So we're going to start with Martin Navoa. We have to update the title of his talk, but it's he's going to talk about, what are some ways in which circumcision rates have really been reduced historically. What do we know works, right? And we're going to do what we know works, but we're also going to scale this up, right? Because 2025, every year is a new year, when new territory. So, there could be some decisive blows. And so, as Vegan Atheist asked, are you doing the live streams until the 19th or until the conference? Well, the plan was until the conference. It'd be a lot easier on my schedule to do it until the 19th. And, if the conference sells out by the 19th, I love talking with you guys and fielding comments, but, the purpose of these live streams was to, sell conference tickets, and we nailed it. But now I want you to get used to these streams, because we're going to stream the entire conference, right? Which is going to be great. So no worries, Vegan Atheist. So anyway, so yeah, and the next day, so we're going to have Martin Navoa talking about that I just mentioned. Zena Spar, probably differences in state and federal litigation, and he's done some similar lawsuits, a similar lawsuit in the past, about 30 years ago. Peter Adler is going to talk about different causes of action that, if you were cut without medical need and consent, what you may be able to, what type of lawsuits you may be able to bring on that. And then Brad Kane will talk about messaging for the movement. We'll have another catered lunch, right? And these These lunch entrees are excellent. You'll get a Google form when you get a ticket. You can pick what you want. Then Deborah Shagian is going to talk about dangers of cultural conditioning. She's a civil rights attorney. She's going to talk about her experiences growing up in a conservative Jewish community and then realizing, oh my God, circumcision isn't just good, but it's actually affirmatively harmful and really maims children. And she wants to protect her community's children from being harmed and maimed, which is very understandable and admirable, and how it can be difficult to communicate to individuals who have been raised their whole life to think that it's like some divine commandment to mutilate your infant, right? It's a really it's a ludicrous on its face. And most I'm Jewish too, and most of us, we don't avoid pork, or we don't stone people in the LGBTQ community or kill people if they're using, I think, cloth from two different looms or something. I'm not sure. It's just silly and it's outrageous. So I think that the Jewish community can overcome this, whether from within or without, or whether it be an internal or external force. Now, internal pressures will be much better received, right? And you could say I'm an internal pressure, except those who are trying to cut babies will say you're an external pressure. He's an outsider. We need to cut our babies. So that's an issue the lawsuit's not getting into in Oregon. But we'll deal with that later. Then John Silla is going to talk about. He'll probably talk about some of the inconsistencies in the circumcision laws. Like, look, you can't pinprick your child's foreskin in Oregon, but you can sever it completely, right? Piercings are illegal, but total amputation is okay. Tattoos are illegal, but total amputation is okay. That makes absolutely no sense. And, we're going to need some harmony in the law that creates fairness, justice, reason, right? The whole American system of jurisprudence is based off of what is reasonable. And so it is not reasonable that you can't pierce your child's foreskin, but you can sever it wholesale. That makes no sense at all. And then we'll have a panel of litigators, intact litigators, and then I will give a talk about the future of the intactivist movement, right? And then we'll have the founders dinner at Multnomah Whiskey Lounge. I'm sure some of you on this have tickets to that, but this is Multnomah's Whiskey Lounge. It's a beautiful venue. We have this venue. I'm going to see if we can get more tickets, but unfortunately it's sold out. We had great showing there, which was great. So anyway, and that's the extent of the conference. So I am going to answer a few questions, field a few comments. As Jake Antone says, in the future, people will look back at and make fun of how dumb the people were at this time. That is 100% true. We're going to say, wow, you guys didn't mutilate your children's sex organs at birth, did you? You really cut off part of their penis? Right? You did that? Really? Dude, I think, it'll probably be unlawful in certainly within 10 years, I would say. I'm trying to do it within 3 to 5. But the next generation is going to be totally dumbstruck. It is going to be inconceivable that we were mutilating children in 2025, not too long from now. And it's quite frankly, it's very embarrassing as a country that we still have to deal with this. It's like you guys are still cutting off big chunks of your child's penises at birth. I mean, total lunacy. And as Vegan Atheist says, I hope so. It could end like the movie Idiocracy. Well, remind me, Vegan Atheist, how that movie ends. It's a great movie, though. And it certainly reflects how low IQ this country is when it comes to not mutilating your infant at birth, right? Now, I understand if you're if you were born, before the year 2000 or even a little after, the information wasn't out there. If you're a parent, you have to rely on your doctor's advice, but there's adverse incentives and the doctors make money from doing procedures, and a lot of them are circumcised and are, let's say, reinforcing their, what they believe is, their mental picture of a penis, which is bizarre. So anyway, as a last note, definitely share my channel. Right? Share the conference link on your social media, subscribe. It'd be great to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers by the time the conference hits. That would be excellent. But yeah, we're all in, baby, and we're going to sue the state of Oregon at the end. and then we're going to move on to the next state. We're going to make this into a national issue. It's already a national crisis, but we need to make it into a national issue. And all of you who are going to the conference are helping. So that is, we got some good news coming in. So thank you all for joining the stream. Like I said before, we're going to do a quick 20-minute stream today. We'll continue to do live. Sven, great to see you on Instagram. But we're going to keep doing these streams. That's the plan every night until the conference. Even though we've already got excellent numbers. I love seeing you all. Thank you for joining. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, protect your children. So thank you all, and I will see you tomorrow.